for today's topic, listening skills enhancement 2.0. So we will be understanding every detail about the listening subtest in the IELTS. So why 2.0? Because back when the pandemic has not yet started, my discussion was purely for the pen and paper business. So now, this is the new version of my discussion. This aims to give comparison to both computer-based and as well as your pen and paper basics. Once again, this is purely going to depend on your preference. If I want to take the pen and paper base exam, no one can tell me otherwise. If I want to take the computer-based test, then so shall it be. Okay? This is purely out of your preference. And definitely, this should be based out of your comfort. So which one are you more comfortable doing? I'm going to tell you this. The pen and paper-based test for listening is much easier to navigate through than the computer-based exam. But at the end of the day, this is arguably still, in general sense, the easiest test out of the 4 components of your IELTS. So this will still not take a lot of effort on your behalf just to get through the band 7 or higher on the test. So, skills enhancement. The lecture today aims to allow you to acquire necessary skills needed for the listening exam, which means whatever skills are needed to survive, to last through the entire testing process, this is exactly what I'm going to teach you. And the term enhancement here refers to further utilizing them, exercising such skills you have acquired, taking them to the next level through none other than mock examinations. Clear? So once you get some skills, regardless of what skill it is, let's say cooking, if we're not going to practice it for, let's say, 5 years, you'll get rusty. If you learn how to drive today and you will not drive for an entire year, you will only drive October 10, 2025, you will not be as good as you are. Therefore, you have to double tap. It is also essential that you exercise your craft so that you will not get rusty in the process. Okay? So, IELTS stands for the International English Language Test System. When you say system, it has various components. In reality, there are 4. You have the listening, reading, writing, and the speaking subjects. So the speaking examination is also referred to as an isolated exam, which means that this is scheduled differently than the other 3. So if you will book your test, let's say, adjust ngayon, tama? 10 ngayon, 11. So if today is October 11, and you book your test on October 12, because usually the schedule for a computer-based exam would be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So since we don't have a Friday examination now, we have a Saturday, Sunday exam this week. So October 12 is the examination date. That means that you should expect your listening, reading, writing to end in that day. Now, what about the speaking? Speaking is scheduled a day before. Could be that gets on the same day. So if you will take listening, reading, writing in the morning, speaking in the afternoon on the same day. Again, it's up to you. Because when you book your test, you have the ability to click those dates. Okay, because you have the option. Now, there are also some occasions which your speaking test will be held after your listening. So which one is better. Actually, there's nothing better than the other because it all depends on how you take your test. If you're comfortable taking all the exams in one day, good. You are more comfortable taking 1 day break than the following days you're speaking test. Then click the date once you're booking the test. So if you'll be asking for our assistants to book your test, just notify us. Sir, I would like my test to be on separate days. I want my speaking test scheduled differently from my written. When you say written component, disregarding whether your examination is delivered by computer or pen and paper, we shall refer to it as written component. Ulitin ko lang, mapa-computer-based o mapa-papel at lapis yan. Written component at tawag ko dyan. Kaya huwag kayong malilito. Sinabi written component, listening, reading, writing, happen, order, writing first, reading, last, not that. This is fixed. Listening comes first, reading comes next, writing comes last. That is going to cause you a problem. Why? Because your examination gets tougher as you progress. Listening is easy, reading is manageable, writing is so damn difficult. If you will not be preparing, you could get caught off guard with how difficult the writing subject is. So this could be problematic for those candidates who are trying to get a band score with a specific target per subtest. For example, my employer told me my score should be overall band score of 5 without any score getting 4.5. So if your writing gets 4 because you didn't prepare enough for it, then you will be taking the examination. Again, this way of arrangement, how the examination is arranged, listening comes first, reading comes next, writing comes last, is going to cause a problem. Why? Because you put the most difficult task in the end. You know, some people would claim PTE is so much easier, which is true. I will be honest with you, PTE is an examination that is so much easier, partly because, number one, you are not assessed by a person. When you say person, let's say, I'll be doing the writing, and I wrote my essay. For you, it doesn't fit your grade, so you will give you 5. Then I apply for a recheck. Another examination, another examiner will check my test, and you are a chosen examiner. Our point of view match. Match. Actually, that happened. One of our coaches initially got 5.5 in his writing, but got 7.5 after recheck. Isa sa mga students ko, then, sa speaking, from 6, after recheck ng speaking niya, naging 7.5. So you see how biased IELTS is. It is going to depend on the examiner's assessment, ultimately. Clear? Now, the arrangement of PT is put together in such a fashion that the most difficult task comes first. What do I mean by that? Speaking and writing comes first, reading and then listening. So that, imagine this, cell phone. Why do we replace our cell phones after 3 to 4 years? Because they just can't catch up. Habang tumatagal yan, nag-degrade, we have the wear and tear. Maging sakyan, di ba? Nakukuha niya. Ay sabihin natin, matibay ang Toyota. No? Pag Ford, pagawain. Di ba? Kahit sabihin pa natin anong brand yan. Because of the wear and tear. Ay tao nga. Habang tumatanda, humihina yung joints, marami nang nararamdaman. Ganun din, sa exam. Habang tumatagal, mas humihirap kang mag-adjust. So imagine, nung bata ka, ayaw mo makipaglaro. Non-stop. May kalulubay, habulan, takbuhan, umalon, makit sa puno. Ngayon, sige, gawin mo yan. Mapaghabulan ka, makit ka sa puno. Di ba? Hirap na eh. Alright? Mauuna mo siya, kabata pa niya. Bata-bata po, hirap ka nang umakit sa puno. That's the thing. No? Imagine yourself as a phone. And you're a brand new mobile phone. Flagship. Samsung S24 Ultra. iPhone 16 Pro Max. Pinat mo sa'yo yung mga apps na heavy hitters. Tulad ng Genshin Impact. No? Pag bukas mo dyan, pakas mo. Scary. Now, imagine 10 years from now. 10 years ago, ang mga sikat na phone ng Samsung S10. Sikat na phone ng iPhone 10. Get the point? Pero kamusta ang performance nila ngayon pag ginamit, playing those mobile games? Slow, laggy. So kahit nga Facebook lang, parang ang lag. Magta-type ka lang ng text, ang lag. Mag-search ka lang ng iba-ibang apps. Habang tumatagal, hindi na sila ganun efficient. So the word I'm looking for here, I want you to understand is your efficiency. Your efficiency rating gets lower as you progress to the exam. Bakit? May syempre nakihilo na ako. Ginagamit ko yung utak ko. Kanina pag gumagana yung utak ko, kinakabahan pa ako. Ang hirap pa ng tanong. Papahirap, papatagal. Mahirapan pa. That's what we're trying to build here. During your mock practices, we're trying to build your stamina so that you can last through the entire 3.5-hour gruesome examination. Ganun. Kung isang oras pa lang, sa test. That's the first thing you have to get yourself through. Your survivability. Now, again, kung naka iPhone 16 Pro Max S24 Ultra flagship device ka, you ran this application, it's not laggy, ipasok natin yung tika 3,000 na mga Xiaomi Infinix. Maglalag yan kahit bago. Kasi yun yung mga cellphone na hindi built para doon sa application na yun. Anong gagawin natin? Para ma-adjust. Mag-upgrade ka. Diba? So, i-upgrade natin yung sarili mo. Bibili ka ng bagong phone. Magpapalit ka ng chipset. That's the reason why every year, iba-iba sila ng iba-iba ng chipset. 3 years ago, grabe. Yung M1 chip ng iPhone, that's the standard. Tumaas yung Snapdragon ng 888, 999 yung Snapdragon. Tapos, M2 naman ng Apple, naghahabulan sila. So, they keep on upgrading. So, I want you to understand that the way how the examination will go is similar to you being degraded. No? Nagdi-degrade ka eventually in the end. Pinakalawang ka, papagod ka, hanggang dulo. Eh yung PTE, MET, OET, na exam. Bakit sila mas madali? Kasi mahirap nga tanong nasa umpisa. Sabihin na natin, naka 50% ka sa battery kasi ginamit mo muna yung cellphone mo sa mahirap na app. So sa mga madadaling app, Google, siya ganun malulobot, siya ganun magpinit. Comes last. Kasi IELTS, hindi po. Easier tests comes first. Writing, the most difficult part, comes last. That is problem. So tomorrow will be my writing major discussion. Oftentimes, I need 3.5 up to 4 hours. So mag-start ako ng 9, tapos ako ng 1. Just for me to discuss writing. That's how difficult the writing subject is. But listening, go to mga 11:30 tapos tayo. 2.5 hours would be. Everything you need to know about listening will be discussed. If you want to know more about writing, what are you going to do? Attend tomorrow's. So listening will be our primary focus for today's discussion. Listening. Who among you here wants to get a score of an overall band score lang. Sabi ng employer, sabi ng inyong visa agency, sabi ng na-search sa Google, OBS. Okay lang. Sino pupunta ng Canada? Kasan? Canada, ang parameter natin dyan eh, CLB. Ano niyo yan? Sabing CLB is the Canadian Language Band. Sabing Canadian Language Band, may equivalent yan. So CLB, anong CLB na kailangan? Wala pang idea. 5, CLB 5. CLB 4, ma'am, hindi ka na dapat pumapasok. At nandito ka pa, ito na. Yan po yun. Guys, ang CLB, malimutan mo ng 1 yung IELTS equivalent. CLB 5, equivalent sa IELTS ay 5 listening, 5 speaking, 4.5 writing, 4.5 reading. Kakaintindihan. Okay. Ang 5 po ay regardless of who will take the test, 5 is the default score. With or without review, you can get a 5 easily. You want to, ma'am, I haven't seen any single person achieving, kasi ang CLB4, ang equivalent niyan ay speaking 4, writing 4, speaking, listening 4, reading, writing 3. Wala pa po akong nakita na tao na nakakuha ng 3.5. May isa. Lumapit siya sa sabi, sir, pa-coach, mag-take out ako ng exam. Ano magagawin ng score? Kailangan reference 3.5 po. Ilan na po ang naka-line sa list? 8,000 students, mahigit sa 1,000 na. More than 500 ang naka-line. Wala pong naka-line sa kahit. Sabihin natin nasa 120, 150 naka-line. Pinaka-makasa po natin dito sa writing, sa buong branch na ito. Pupunta ko sa inyo kung gano'n talaga ang pinaka-line sa. So you get the point. Dami na naka-line. Dami na. Hindi rare. Ganun siya ka-achieve ko. 5, top 19 siya. Magkano na ako? Ano yun? Nakakita ka na naman. Kahit sa Zoom. Ang ibagsak, yung pala, ano yung sasadyain mo? Kung i-break, kung isang Kevin, 3 lang. Itong tama lang ata, or lower. So even if you are going to get 6 out of the 4 correct answers, you're really bad. Sasadyain mo talaga. Pwede ka pang bumaba sa 3.5. But you get the point. Almost impossible to fail the test. Getting 3.5, listening. Now, let me tell you this. Almost 70% of the test-taking population. So if there are 22,000 test takers in a year, that's 2023, 22,000 test takers. You could say that around 17,000 of them are not enrolled in any review centers. Around 2,000, yun lang yung market share. Siyempre, may iba sa ibang gilid. Hindi naman lahat sa amin. You get the point. More than 18,000 of the test-taking population in the Philippines are not enrolled in any review centers. And yet, it's surprising. A national average National Band Score of the Philippines. National Band Score. Buong taon, buong Pilipinas. Kahit saan ka pang panig ng Pilipinas, 7 ang average. Ang medians. Sabihin, kasi sir, pag taking ko ng exam ngayon, mataas na chance niya mag-exam. Yes. Kung di ba, pag taking ko ng exam ngayon, mataas na chance niya mag-exam. That is how easy it is. Of course, it will be a different story kung reading and writing. Ibang usapan ito. Ano ba ang median score ng 9? Siyempre, meron din kami ng data. Average po, pag estudyante ka naman. Ibig sabihin, estudyante ka ng minor, score mo, nagdala mo lang between 7. Then, 7.5. Paano mo nga nakaka-6, nakaka-5? Siyempre, kaya kami nakaka-perfect. Ako naman nakaka-perfect dito. So, ang tanong, kayo dito, target answer. Don't dream anything lower than that. Ang result mo. Sa bakto. May mga matatandaan. Kung muna ka dyan, ay, makakapagin kayo pag pag-buntis. Kaya atin yan. Ikaw ang priority na kanayin ka eh. Kasi ganun ka rare, ganun kang kabihira. Ba't nakalain ba yung mga matatanda? Hindi. If OPS ko ang kailangan nyo sa employment, no? Maka-4 ka man sa ibang test, maka-7 or 8 ka sa listening, yun ang nahahatak ng score mo pataas. Kasi kukumbine mo yung 4 na yun, i-divide mo sa 4. Ito yung paliwanag. Maka-7 ka sa listening, maka-5, 5, 5 ka dun sa 3, 5.5 to 6 pa rin ang score. So listening pulls the score up. That's why you are trying to get a high CLB or overall band score. Look no further. Listening. Ano? For example, sa Canada, pamilya tayo. Yun yung parameter nila. Sa US naman, kung nurse ka, ano ba? Nurse ako. Nurse ako. Okay, 4 months listening. 5 months writing. 6 months reading. So 4, 5, 6. 7. Sama-sama yun. Overall that's 4, 6. 7 ako sa 6. Ngayon, nanayin ko lahat. Lahat. Listening, reading, writing, 6.5 speaking. Kasi sa US, 6.5 OBS. Nilang bigyan ng hard for preparation yung listening. Hindi na. Kasi ma-7 na, ma-6 mo na. Dahil kailangan nila 7. Kanya-kanya tayo na bago tayo magsimula ngayon, malinaw. Ano ba ang target ko? Ang topic natin, listening. Wala tayong reading, wala tayong writing, wala pang speaking, di ba? Listening pa lang. Anong target? 9! Alright. Sa listening test, it is divided into 4. We call it sections before 2018, but now we call it part. So pag maririnig nyo siya sa mga practices o sa mismong exam, instead of section 1, maririnig nyo siya as part 1. Kuha? How many questions? 40 questions. There are 4 sections, 40 questions. we should expect that somewhere between 8 to 12, average of 10 per section. It's a sample. Okay pa? How long will the test last? Kung pen and paper-based test, this will last for 40 minutes. 30 minutes to listen and answer questions, 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the designated answer. So one of the key differences of pen and paper-based and computer-delivered exam is that for computer-based exam, you are not given 10 minutes time. Therefore, the actual exam length for listening is cut down to just 30 minutes. Ulit! Gano'ng katagal? Exam. Lahat. 30 minutes. Okay? Sir, pwede ba kaming computer-based po ako, ano? Computer-based. Pwede ba akong humingi ng papel, ng lapis, para magsulat-sulat-sulat habang nakikinig? Ito ang tanong. Bakit mo gagawin? Bakit? Sir, kasi syempre, para manunote ko yung narinig, you have to do it directly on the computer. Type mo na. Yes. You don't have to type all the answers. Actually, you just have to interact with your monitor. No, A, B, C. 33. Automatically, those answers you get to interact in the monitor are automatically uploaded in your virtual answer sheet. So you are not given 10 minutes to transfer, but you are given 2 minutes to check all your answers. Just to check. Kompleto ba? Ay, wait, wala akong sagot sa 31. Ano gagawin mo? Click mo yung 31. Uy, ano kaya ang pwedeng sasagot sa 31? What would Kevin bring to the beach? A, slippers. B, tumbler. C, laptop. Siguro, slippers o kaya tumbler lang. So, ba't naman ako magdadala ng tumbler? Pwede mo order ng mga shake-shake. So, siguro, slippers. Umama ka. Nagets yan. So, what I want you guys to do is before you click submit, you make sure all the items on the questionnaire, even. At least, wag lang basta-basta manguhula. Ano? Yes, calculated. Yes, wag naman 32. Wala akong sagot. Okra na lang siguro kasi pag-bintang ko na. Saan galing? Nagkakaintindihan? So, out of the 40 items, how many points must you secure for you to get 7? 30. Which means if you get 10 incorrect answers, you still get band 7. People, this is regardless of whether you are academic or GP. We are judged fairly here. Everyone is equal in the listening judgment. Pare-parehas. Walang, alam kung AAD ka o GP ka, magkakaroon ng difference yan pag reading na, pag writing na. Sa speaking, wala nang difference. No? So listening is the same for both academic and general. Clear? Now, what will be our rules? Of course, listen intently. If we're going to break it down, this rule number 1, you have to listen with the intention of getting as many answers as you can. Listen with the intention of acquiring answers. Follow the example. More than half of the test-taking population who don't get 7 in listening is because they fail to follow the format. Tama ang sagot nila by default, but if you're going to consider the format, they're wrong. Categorically speaking, the answers to you. So tuturo ko yan. Siguro kalahati ng klase natin, yan ang i-take. Yung following the example. And please, please don't fall asleep. No? There's a tendency that the voice that you will hear is very sensitive. Ganun eh, di ba sa YouTube, kaya nga sikat yung ASMR. Because of the high quality voice, well-modulated voice ng narrator. And of course, you have to prepare yourself, both physically and mentally. Because if you're not going to prepare physically, you're not going to get enough sleep. You get tired, your focus will be lost easily. Diba? There's a lot of things that will go on. And sino po nakapag-take ng IELTS before? Nakapag-take. May mga papel di ba? Kung pen and paper. Sa colored paper niyan, pink po ang questionnaire at orange naman ang answer sheet. Ayan, pakita ko sa inyo. Be careful, the listening and reading answer sheet is very identical. Isang page lang ang listening. Baliktaran siya. Okay? So, mangyayari doon, nasagot ka, tapos may mga areas doon na isi-shade ng examiner, wag na wag mong isi-shade yun. Kung magpe-pen and paper ka, wag mo isi-shade. Pag sinade mo yun, makakasuhan ka ng cheating. Gaano ka lupit ang cheating kay IELTS? Ibaban ka na nila from taking the exam. And we have to remember, si IELTS po ang nanay ng lahat ng other English exam. Sa kanya binase si PTE, si OET, si MAT. So meaning, napaka-influential nitong exam. Sabihin niya, oy, nakaban sa akin to eh. Si Juan de la Cruz, kasi nag-cheat. Huwag mo nang pag-take ng exam. So hindi ka na makapunta sa mga English-speaking countries. Diba? Mahirap na. So ito po yung itsura niya. So ito yung part no, hindi nyo. Guys, alam ko napakatitigas ng ulo ng mga Pilipino. No? Kasi pag sinabi, wag kang iihi dito, wag kang magtatapon ng basura, doon ka makakakita ng mga umiihi at mga nagtatapon ng basura. Huwag tumawid dito, tawiran ng tawiran. Bawal lumiko, likuan ng likuan. No? Guys, alam ko napakatitigas ang ulo ng mga Pilipino nasa dugo na yan. Pero please, wag niyo pong susulatan kahit anong mangyari. Kahit isang guhit lang. Because ito po is for the pen and paper. Hindi po yan dadaan sa oo. Pag pen and paper, eto. Pag hindi pen and paper, wala kang makikita. Yes. So yung dati mong exam, may nakita ka niyan, di ba? Kasi pen and paper. Ngayon, magpe-pen and paper ka ba ulit? O magko-computer based? Hindi mo na makikita. So para lang po ito sa nagbabalak, nagpaplano na mag-pen and paper. Ang pen and paper exam natin dito sa Pilipinas, in Manila, 3 times a week nila kinakanta. So, dalawa ang testing center ng British Council, dalawa ang testing center ng IDP. So, araw-araw po pwede ka mag-exam. Now, sa computer-based, dito naman sa probinsya, sa Cabanatuan, 3 beses sa isang taon. So, February, August, November. Palaging may pen and paper base yan. Si IDP, mauuna lang siya o mahuhuli ng isang buwan. So, ibig sabihin, 6 na beses sa isang taon, may pen and paper base exams. Sa Pampanga po, linggo-linggo. Sa Urdaneta, buwan-buwan. Kung gusto mo mag-pen and paper base, marami kang lugar kung saan pwede mong gawin yan. No? Pero sa amin pong branch, sa testing center po natin dito sa Cabanatuan, computer-based lang po ang available. Wala po kami pen and paper. So, ano pala ang problema? Kasi pag pen and paper based yan, paano maririnig yung audio? Pwede kang bigyan ng headset. Si IDP, ginagawa yun. Nakakonect yan via infrared. Pero, sa British Council, speaker. Nakakalat. Nung nag-take po ng exam, speaker. Dito po sa atin, pag ginanap ang exam, ang venue ay Harvest. Speaker na ganyan? Nakakalat. Kay Harvest, kay La Parilla, isang beses nangyari na ang exam yan. The podium dyan, dito sa Kapitan Pepe. Doon po ginanap. Si IDP, kay Acropolis. Doon naman siya ginaganap. Ibig sabihin, para marinig ng mga estudyante ang audio ng listening, may speaker sila. Except kay IDP, na paminsan-minsan nagpapa-headset. Nakuha? Okay. Ano ang problema sa pen and paper based exam at sa Cabanatuan? Pangit na sound system. Maganda pa ang sound system natin dito. Unang turo ko yun, 2016, hindi ko makakalimutan. 2016. Unang buwan ko ng pagtuturo. Take sila ng exam dyan sa Harvest. Balik! Tayo nagsibagsak. 5.5 lang sa listening, 6 lang sa listening, kailangan nila maka 7. May isang natanda, galit na galit. Sumugod sa akin. Sir, ba't po ako susugurin yun? Hindi naman po ako nagpa-exam. Dapat kay Harvest po kayo magalit. Dahil ang pangit ng audio nila doon. Ngayon, hindi pa rin nila inaayos. Taon-taon. Kaya ang common kay Harvest, pag doon ang venue, listening 6.5, speaking 8, reading 8, writing 6.5. Mababa pa yung listening na dapat yun ang tinuturo. Dahil sabog yung sound system. Clear? Ano pa? Ano pang problema sa listening? Siyempre yung lapit mo dun sa speaker, mas malinaw. Pag medyo malayo ka sa speaker, hindi na. So, yung pwestuhan, importante din. Pero sa computer-based test, may earphones po. Individual sets. Kaya niya? Parang anong kanta? Sabi sa akin, headset. Anong kinaganda ng headset? Shoot na shoot sa tenga mo yan. Any audio mo. Sir, ang hina. May volume rocker. Sa screen, pwede mo rin i-adjust. Doon lang talaga. Kaya nga kailangan mo talagang mag-practice. Practice. Actually, hindi mag-practice. Meron din akong isa pang ituturo na paraan para gumaling sa listening. Hindi lang puro practice. Kasi kung practice ka ng practice, mali ka ng puro mali, di ba? Bawa, nagdadrive ka ng manual. Mali yung tapak mo sa clutch. Masisira mo lang yung sasakyan. Hindi ka gagali. So, meron din mga iba pang pamamaraan. Sir, gusto ko pa pong malaman anong pinagkaiba. Pen and paper-based at computer-based. Kasi hanggang ngayon may agam-agam pa ako. Meron pa akong confusion. Which one is for me? I want you guys to watch this video, which will explain everything for us.
For the listening test, you can change the volume by using the volume bar in the top right at any time during the test. For each part of the listening test, you will hear the recording once only. Some parts of the test have more than one type of question. Each type of question has its own instructions.
Po dito, hindi mo na kailangan i-type literally ang bawat sagot. For example, number 16, sabi dyan, the sports complex is surrounded by the garden. So, ito yung garden, no? Nakapalibutan daw yung sports complex. Ano tong 16? Sports complex. So, pupunta ka dito, click mo yung sports complex, ililipat mo lang sa doon sa 16, mapupunta na doon yung sagot. Ang tawag doon ay drag and drop.
In the listening test, listen carefully for the part number and question.
Ayun po yung part 1, 1 to 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Part 2, 11 to 20. Part 3, 21 to 30. Part 4, 31 to 40. So, ibig sabihin, pag click mo ng mga items na yon, automatic po magpe-play yung audio. So, ang suggestion ko, wag kung ano-ano ang pipindutin during the exam, let it play along. May break ka naman in between. Kailan ang break? Every part, may 1 minute time to look for the questions you just answered and 30 seconds to look for the next batch of questions. So dun po ang pahinga.
Numbers to make sure you are looking at the right screen. For some questions, you need to write your answer in the gap. For some questions, you need to choose which diagram label, A, B, C, etc., is correct for which item listed in the table. For For each question, click on the correct space in the table. For some questions, you need to click on an answer and move it into the gap.
Yun.
If you want to change an answer, move another answer into the gap.
Yun.
If you want to leave the question unanswered, move the question back. And for some questions, you need to move an answer into a gap on a diagram. At the end of the listening test, you'll have 2 minutes to check all of your answers. The tests will automatically stop when the time finishes.
Hey, ano? Hey. Ayun lang. Again, tulad po ng sabi natin, for you to get a 9, no wrong answers. 40 out of 40. You get 9.0. Tingnan niya natin mga score nyo kahapon. Mga kahapon. Ilan ang score? Bad score na. Ano ba yan? Kailangan mo lang si LB4. Sobra-sobra pa yan. Baka overqualify ko. Ikaw, mami lang ka. Sa listening. Listening lang. Yan o. Nilalagay pa ni ma'am sa diary niya. Dear diary. Bakit? Ikaw, makakahapon, ilan? Oh, good. So, sir? Hindi ka pala kapag na. 5.5. Ikaw, ma'am? 5. Ikaw, ma'am? Oo, di ba? May dalawa tayo naka-7. Pag kinuha yung average niya, nasa 6 ang average niya. 6 to 6.5. At guys, karamihan sa kanila, first-timer, ha? Tulad ni sir, first-timer. Si ma'am, first-timer. Si sir, hindi pa nakapag ano pa kung pang 8, pang 9, pang 10 beses mo pang meron? Isa na rin nakalagay na headset eh. Sa kaya ganyan ka pa. Ay na naman ako. Hustler ka na eh. Bisado mo na eh. Nakits mo yan? So you need more practice. And not only practice, everything that you will learn here in this discussion could help you out in the test. Oh, ganito pala gawin yung tama. Kaya pala ako nagkamali dun sa answer na yun. Because ito pala yung format. Kasi sabi ko nga sa inyo, tama man yung sagot niya because of the formatting issues. Mamamali pa rin siya. Karamihan po na nagkakaroon mababang score is because of format. So, there are various stages in the listening test. So, we have the before stage, which means you have to read the questions in advance and circle or underline keywords. So this is only done for the pen and paper based test. Kasi syempre, yung makapag-encircle dyan sa computer. So, anong gagawin mo? Keep them in mind. Remember them. Now, wait for clues. And then during the listening test, while the audio is playing, listen intently, take some notes. Kapag nagli-listening ka, tapos nakikita mo yung monitor, tapos map yun. Kasi map is the most difficult part of the listening test. Hands down. Yun talaga. Pinakamahirap na test. Pwede mo i-trace. Saan ba? Can use your finger to point it out. And after, never fail to review your answers. Tulad yan ang sabi ko sa inyo, you're given breaks eh. Napaka-generous po ni listening. Kaya ang dali niyang ipasa. Napaka-lenient niya when it comes to time. You're given half a minute. Check your answers. Maririnig mo yung script na yon every after section. Tapos bago mag-play yung kasunod, you now have 1 minute to look for questions 21 to 30. Napakabait ng pagdating sa time. Again, before you submit, before you click submit, or nakita mo na 2 minutes na lang natitira sa test mo, try to guess if there you have left some items blank. Fill them out, even if you have to guess, but not just any other guess, calculated. Again, not only the exam gets difficult due to listening, reading, writing first. No, even in the listening itself, your test gets difficult as you progress towards it. What do I mean is that sections 1 and 2 are found to be easier to manage than sections 3 and 4. And I am here to shed light. Why? Bakit mas mahirap ang 3 and 4 kaysa sa 1? The answer lies in the content. What do you mean by content? The content, the situation that is embedded in it. So in sections 1 and 2, the questions are about general everyday scenarios with social context that you yourself may have even encountered. No? Ma'am, have you tried doing transactions with someone? Transactions of any. Have you tried doing transactions? Have you tried selling something to someone? Nakapagbenta ka na ba ng gamit? Ang gamit. Alright. Siyempre, pag may bibili, model. So, ano yung gas niya? Ilang liters ba engine niya? But, so yun lang ang yung question. Bawa, you here. Talking about potential car dealership. Listen to Torque. I've been wanting to buy this car for a long time. And you're the only one I get to see this. How much? No, let's not talk about the price. Let me tell you about the specification. I'm not the first owner of this car. So you have problems among them. It is not on the one. 1.5 liter engine. Question number 1. Blank engine. 1.5 L. 1.5. Nagets yan? So, yung questions 1 to 10, puro information. So, kung ang situation nyo, nagbibenta ng kotse, anong kulay nun, kailan huling nirehistro, yung mga talagay mo, di ba? Magkano? Madali ba? Mahirap. Oh. Okay? Di ba? Simple. Tungkol dun sa mga hotel, may tatlo sila option. Harvest binibigay yung specs. Lalo ka lapit sa city, magkano per night, may breakfast ba, may breakfast. Ano? Ano break? That, the fire. One person gives the information, other asking for information. You have to keep those information. Listen to me. Here. Section 2. Ano, kasi ba sa section 1? Wala naman. Guys, even spelling, for example, question 1. Hi, my name is Ian Wall. I'll be your examiner report. Examiner. That's WA. Yeah. My name is Ken Wong. What? The spelling of my name is IANWA. Puta, pag naligaw ka pa doon, ewan ko na lang. Send ko sa, hey, my name is Ian. I'm a teacher for today, Ian Wong. Everyone in mathematics and math. Pero sila ko din ginawa nila para sa exam na to. Pag-aaral natin. Kasi gusto natin makuha ng nila yung sagot.
Minsan yung i-spell pa nila.
Yes.
Yung isusulat mo.
Yes. For example, na-encounter ko. Option of hotel. Sabi na, okay, what is our option 1 for accommodation? Oh, I'm glad that you asked. The first option is Rajdu. Yes, tayo yung Rajdu. Hindi rin, di ba? R-A-J-D-O-O. Kailangan mo sa kaya section 1, pag nagkamali kayo, isipin yung sinusumpa. Walang imamali dyan. Wala dapat magkakamali sa section. Section 1, okay lang. Okay na okay yan. Section 4, pinapayagan natin magkamali kahit pa isa, dalawa. Sige. Pero section 1, wala dapat. Wala dapat mabiktima yan.
Hindi ba na lang umahuli ka sa pan?
Ayun lang. Kaya dapat listen intently. Okay? Exactly. That's one of the problems. I'm glad that you mentioned that. The audio sometimes will mention answers instantaneously. In those occasions, hindi naman nila yon ilalagay sa part kung saan kailangan mong mag-type ng mabibilis. Kasi ayaw naman nilang bumagsak eh. Kasi listening ko pinakamadali sa lahat. Ilalagay nila yan sa mga drag and drop. Para yung focus mo. Again ha, your focus shouldn't be on one item alone. It should be 3 items at once. So question number 1 is name. Question number 2 is subject. Question number 3 is time. No? Hey, my name is Ian Wall, and I'll be your lecturer for today. Our actual time is 9 o'clock every day. So subject is mathematics. So see what happened? Una yung name, sinabi yung time, kasi yung subject. Mag-panic. Kasi sometimes, questions are not given in succession. One item appear before the other one comes. Now, section 2 po is still going to be general everyday scenario, but instead of hearing 2 people talking, asking questions, giving information, section 2 is about 1 person giving information. Halimbawa, may na-encounter na tayo how to be safe around trains. Na yung mga valuables dapat nakakip sa'yo, huwag ka matutulog habang biyahe, be aware of your surroundings. Pag meron kang na-encounter na theft or potential theft, baba ka sa nearest station, sumbong mo sa police. Question number 18. Where would you report stolen items? Police. Diba? Isa lang po ang magsasalita. Paano makaiwas sa dengue? Yun po ang topic sa section. And most section 2 that I have encountered include map. Kaya po problemado si section 2 kasi nasa kanya yung mga mapa. When it comes to the content, hindi po mahirap sa section 2. Ang mahirap is yung mapa sa section. So pag sinabi nagbibigay siya ng informational talk, minsan nagbibigay ng tour. May mapa ng location. Tapos bawa, if you go up north, this is where the birds are. And on the southern part of the zoo is where the mammals. So, talagay mo mammal, baba, birds. Okay? Next, section 3. Bakit mahirap sa section 3? Because you will not just hear 2 people talking, you will hear more than 2. 3, 4, minsan sabay-sabay pa. So nakakalito. Sino na si Mary, sino na si John, sino na si Kevin, sino na si Mark. Nagkakagulo-gulo na sila. Minsan mahirap nang masundan. Kaya section 3 is confusing. Alright? Section 4 is school training related. May monologue din dyan, seminar. So tungkol yan sa mga invention, sa history, geography. May kinalaman na siya sa specific topic. Napahinga ko, teka lang. Excuse me for a minute. All right. Barriers, look at listening. Dalawa po. Having two barriers, dalawang problema, dalawang humps na kailangan nating i-overcome bago tayo makalusot. Ano yung isa? Speed. Can we do something about speed? Like, excuse me, Christian, yung bandan. Pwede bang pakibagalin itong bilis eh? Pwede ba? Hindi. Gets yan? So we cannot do anything. That barrier is going to remain a barrier. Next. The next barrier is accent. Accent familiarization. Kasi may madaling accent tulad ng British at American. At may mahirap na accent tulad ng Australian. Sorry, galing ng Australian. Grabe magsalita yung mga tao. Good day, mate! Can you tell me about that? Yeah, it's always art. No. So, basta parang baka ng chewing gum. Nangongo, diba? That's the thing. If you are exposed to it constantly, sanay ka na. Sanay ka na. That's why in accent,
First month, 2 months, 3 months po, may nakarap po tayo.
so in accent familiarization, the best way to deal with this is to get used to it. Kailangan masanay. Paano ka masasanay? May mga audio tayo available na i-upload ko. Antayin nyo yung mga post. So ano gagawin? Kailangan ba ako mag-take ng exam tuwing i-upload mo, sir? Hindi ha. Nasa YouTube yon. May mga sasakyan kasi may sasakyan. Oh. Sino may headphones? Tama siguro tayo, sino may speaker sa bahay. Oh. Connect niyo sa Bluetooth. Habang nagbabiyahe ka. O kaysa ang tugtog mo mga hip-hop, talaga sa tayo naman. Mga pinapakinggan mo, you here just stop the back of the summer vacation. Listen to Louise and Carrie as they talk over their plans for the next summer. Oh, hi Louise. How are you? And then sila. Yun ang sound trip mo ngayon, sir. Mabiyahe. Ba nagwawalis? Yung mga nagwawalis? Bahay mo. Si American accent, bakit po siya madali? Bakit? Madali pa American accent. Bakit? Sanay pa sa mga pinapanood dating pelikula, mga pinapanood dating mga series, mga pinapanood dating mga pinapakinggan nating mga songs. Di ba?
Pinag-uligan natin yung accent.
Palagi nating naririnig ang American accent. At yung English natin dito is American English. So this is for the very lucky few because we are used to it already. Si British, this is common. Sabihin na natin, 70% of the time, naka-British accent yan. Bakit? Kasi dyan po yung ginawa eh. Yung recording na yan, hindi po yan mga totoong sitwasyon. Yan po ay ina-act lang nila. At yan po ay mga estudyante ng University of Cambridge. So kaya, ang natural accent nila ay British. Sa British accent, ang kailangan mo lang naman paghandaan dyan is yung R. Wala silang R. Tawag natin doon rhotic R. At yung T, sometimes they over-pronunciate it, sometimes they don't. Like si Ed Sheeran, hindi niya pinapronounce yung T. Kaya yung better, nagiging bea. Na lang, bea. So kung di ka familiar sa British accent, bea. Diba? Ano may spell yun? So yun yung problem. At si Australian po ay for those who are cursed. So ikaw yung tipo ng tao na pag nag-aya yung mga kaibigan mo, hindi natutuloy, pag di ka kasama, natutuloy, ikaw po yan. Meron ka sumpa. No? Malalaman nyo kung bakit. Ito po yung American accent, pakinggan.
Please call Stella, ask her to bring these things with her from the store. 6 spoons of fresh snow peas, 5 thick slabs of blue cheese, and maybe a snack for her brother Bob. We also need a small plastic snake and a big toy frog for the kids. She will scoop these things up into 3 red bags, and we will go meet her Wednesday at the train station.
One of the common features of American accent is gliding. So now that you mentioned the R, they mentioned the R, they mentioned the T, but the way how they pronounce letter T is they pronounce letter D. Instead of saying better, they say better. Kasi mas madali siyang i-pronounce. Mas dumudulas ang pronunciation. Kaya, she can do these things in 3 red bags and go with her Wednesday train station. Masyado silang mabilis. They saw the pieces of the words together. There are no pauses anymore. So, pinakamabilis si American accent. So, one of the problems that you may encounter in American accent is the speed. No? Now, for British,
please call Stella. Ask her to bring these things with her from the store. 6 spoons of fresh snow peas, 5 thick slabs of blue cheese, and maybe a snack for her brother Bob. We also need a small plastic snake and a big toy frog for the kids. She can scoop these things into 3 red bags, and we will go meet her Wednesday at the train station.
Refreshing. She can scoop these things into 3 red bags, and we will go meet her. Walang T, walang R. Meet her. Pero gets pa rin natin. Wednesday at the train station. Maka-refreshing. So si American accent, manageable. Si British, kayang-kaya. Ito na po, si Australian accent. Pakinggan nyo. Putang ina.
Please call Stella. Ask her to bring these things with her from the store. 6 spoons of fresh snow peas, 5 thick slabs of blue cheese, and maybe a snack for her brother Bob. We also need a small plastic snake and a big toy frog for the kids. She can scoop these things into 3 red bags, and we'll go meet her Wednesday at the train station.
You'll go meet her Wednesday at the train station.
Check. Brother, hindi niya binigyan, di ba? But,
So, the feature of Australian accent is what we call drawling. So, drawl is when you lengthen short vowel sounds or when you shorten long vowel sounds. So, snake sounds like big toy frog for the kids. Can scoop these things into 3 red bags and we'll go meet her Wednesday at the train station. So, yung A naging A, ay yung A naging I, yung I naging A. Kaya it's a good day today, it's a good die today. Kaya po, guys, di ba sabi ko sa inyo, pag nagdadasin ng mga madasalin, tapos may mga Catholic. Yung Catholic dito. Mga Catholic. Anong religion? Methodist. So, of course, we pray. Di ba? Regardless, meron tayo ditong Indian na student before, si Akash. Nagdadasal din siya. Ang dami nilang Diyos, sabi nga niya. Regardless, you have to pray. And when you do pray, pray specifically. Na? Specific. Lord, pwede ka po ng exam. Sana po kaya kong sagutin yung mga questions sa speaking. Sana po napaganda ko yung questions sa writing. At higit po sa lahat, sana po ay wag Australian accent ang listening. Kontian nyo din po ang true false not given sa aking reading. Yan. Kailangan specific. Kasi alam ni Lord, dito pa sa daming problema eh. No? Nakwento ko sa inyo before, itong laptop ko na to nawala. September 2nd week sa Isabela. Siya, 1 linggo akong balisa kasi hindi naman ako to sa asawa ko to eh. Sa kano ang MacBook Air M1 chip ngayon, 2020 model. Brand new, nasa 56. Second hand, nasa 38 pa. Sabi ko, punta kami Manawag. Lord, magkasap yung laptop ko. Nabukasan, balik. Specific na. Tumawag sa ospital. Sir, may naiwan na laptop dito. May nakalagay kasing ano dyan, contact number sa ilalim. Ito na, mababait. multiple choice questions, we have type 1 singular answer, which means that for, say for example, 31, you have A, B, C. You just have to click A for you to get through the next question. For multiple answers, let's say item 31, A, B, C, D, E, F, kailangan yung nakalagay doon, choose 2 of the following. So if you're not going to click 2, isa lang kinlik mo, by default, mali ang sagot. Nakuha? Pag kinlik mo yung A, kinlik mo yung C, tapos kinlik mo yung D, yung C magiging D, yung D magiging F, yung F magiging B. Kung ano yung huli mong answer, para maalis mo si A, click mo muna si A. Tapos ilipat mo siya sa ito. Okay. Sample.
Section 3. Listen to a female student, Amina, talking to her tutor, Dr. Bryson, about her project on local history. Amina has completed a first draft of the project. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 26.
Pag ganito lang, 6 items lang, o 7 items, 30 seconds lang siya. Magpo-pause yun, 27 to 30, that's another 30 seconds. Eh na, makikinig muna tayo. Siyempre, antay mo muna. Wala pa akong isasagot dyan. O kaya, ibig sabihin, habang may 30 seconds ka maghahanda, ano kaya mga posibleng sagot? So, yung clue ko dyan, local. Local ano? Local hospital, local factory, local school.
Now listen carefully to the first part of the discussion and answer questions 21 to 26.
Well, Amina, thanks for letting me have your draft in such good time.
Oh, that's all right. I was just very anxious to hear what you think of it. You can see that I decided to change the topic.
Hey.
I had been interested in looking at Bering's factory.
Oh, I think the hospital was a much better choice. In fact, well, I have to say that I thought it was good.
Oh.
There's still lots of work to be done.
Oh, yes, of course.
But there's plenty of good ideas. It opens well, and the first chapter is fine, but the middle section really stood out for me. Most interesting.
That's amazing, because I really didn't find it a bit easy to write.
How long did you work on the whole thing?
Well, I spent about 2 or 3 weeks reading and doing general research, and then I dashed the writing off very quickly.
Ano pa yung ginawa ko? Binilugan ko po yung mga answers.
Ganyan din naman.
Dinraft ko. Okay. So what I did here, kasi in the examinations case, click-click lang yan eh. May makikita ka dito below. Mga below dyan. Click-click mo lang siya. Diba? So nakalagay dyan, for example, oh, I was very anxious. You see, I changed the topic. I was looking into Bering's factory. No, I think the hospital is a much better choice. So from factory, na una mong kinlik, hospital na siya. Yan. I thought it was good, but there's plenty of things to be done. It opens well, para sa introduction. The first chapter is fine, but the middle section really stood out well for me, most interesting. So, sabi niya sa introduction, well, sabi niya sa first chapter, fine. Middle section, really stood out well for me, most interesting. Kung sa inyo sabihin yun, ibig sabihin ba ikaw yung pinaka nagusto? Yes, kaya ang sagot natin sa 22, C. Sabi ni Amina, oh, is that so? Nagulat siya eh, no? Because I didn't find it easy to write. Anong antonym ng easy? Difficult. So instead of I didn't find it easy, another way to rephrase it is found it difficult to do. Kaya ang sagot natin sa 23, C. Nakuha? So as you listen, you interact with your monitor. Again, sir, ha? I know, very anxious si sir dito sa listening, pero once matry mo siya, kung matry mo siya sa bahay, practicein mo siya ng practicein para yung familiarity mo sa kanya tumaas. Sunod, gap fill. Ito po, kailangan mo talagang i-type yung answer. And then map. Anong pinaka-importante sa map? Again, you are not allowed to write onto anything. You're not given. You can be given a piece of paper and a pencil. But again, it will only hold you down since you have to be direct on your answers. May 2 minutes ka lang. Napakabilis mo para i-transfer mo yung 40 items. Hindi ka kayanin. Kaya direct talaga. So, para i-trace yung map, kasi there's no better way to do the map, to deal with it, than to trace it. And in tracing, andito yung earphones mo, yung left hand mo, o yung dominant hand mo, non-dominant hand, for example, yung left ko, yun yung tutulong sa map. Yung right naman, yun yung mag-i-interact using the maps. Nagkakaintindihan po. Nabigyan kayo ng sample ng map.
Well, here we are at the top of the tower, and we're going to look at the view from each direction. Out to the east, the large buildings about 1 kilometre away are on the Olympic site. There's an indoor arena for gymnastics, a stadium for track and field, and a swimming pool for races and synchronised swimming, and also diving. If you look carefully down there, you can see the train lines. The Olympic site has its own station to encourage the use of public transport. There is also a car park, but it only holds a limited number of cars. The formal park has some specially created water features. If you look out here to the south, you can see a circular ornamental pond. And around to the west, you can relax and sit on a bench to smell the flowers in the rose garden. And finally, up to the north, if you look in front of you now, there's a lake with a small island in the centre. You can hire rowing boats at the boat shed, which you can't see from here. But if you look through the trees, you can see the cafe, which has lovely views across the water. OK, let's climb down now. We will go now and have a look at the nature reserve section of the park, which has opened up natural wetland to the public.
Yeah. So remember when I told you that section 2 could be problematic because we would normally encounter section 2 to feature maps. And in maps, what's difficult here is to follow directions. Now, don't worry kasi may mga compass naman sila. North, taas. Kaya sabi ko kanina, di ba, out here to the east, gumanon ako, tapos binilugan ko to. Which means, ginanong ko yung finger ko as during nagsasalita yung audio. Out here to the east is the Olympic side. There's an indoor arena, there's a stadium, there's also a swimming pool. If you look down, there's train line and a station to encourage the users to use the public transport. And there's also a car park. So itong box-like structure na to, na may arrow, yun po yung walang sagot. At ang sagot dun ay car park. Kasi yung sabi. Now, out here to the south, there's a circular ornamental pond. So habang nagsasalita siya, sinusundan mo kung nasa na siya. South, nearby, between, around. So listen for the following clues. Out here to the west, sa kaliwa, you can sit and relax on the benches and smell the flowers in the rose garden. So ito yung mga bench. Ito palang scene na to na nakapalibot sa bench, doon umaamoy yung flowers. Ano siya? Siya yung rose garden. If you look to the north, kasi andito pa rin ang ating reference point, pabalik ka sa gitna, yung north niya, hindi north ng bench, ang north niya, meron daw ditong lake na may island sa gitna. Pwede ka rin mag-hire ng boat. Ito nga yun, pero hindi mo siya makikita kasi nga may malaking tree dito. So hindi mo siya tanaw mula dito. Nagkakaintindihan. Pero pag titingnan mo daw, if you look through the trees, sabi ng through, pagitan, between, may trees ba dito? Yes. May trees ba dito? Yes. Ayun yun. May arrow sign. There's a cafe. So yun po ang nangyari sa ating. Spelling. Both British and American spelling are accepted. All caps are accepted. Actually, I encourage you guys to write your answers in all caps to avoid capitalization errors. Kasi kung ang sagot mo dyan is, let's say, St. Mark's Village, tapos ang liit ng M mo, dapat pala malaki. So kung naka-all caps yan, wala ka ng problema. Nagets? So, all caps po ang lahat na. What? Past is, past is. Especially pag nakakita ka na to. Ano po yan? This is the be verb. Sinabing be verb, any of its forms is, are, was, were, am, has, have, had. Sama mo na ang sense verb na seem, appears, sounds, tastes. Lahat ng kasama po o kasunod ni be verb dapat ay past participle. So, halimbawa, narinig mo, give. Narinig mo, you have to give this to Kevin. This must be, nakalagay dyan, blank to Kevin. So, yung give na narinig mo, kung convert mo siya into past participle, which now makes it given. That is the reason why section 3 and 4 is a problem. Because section 3 and 4 requires you to answer adjectives and verbs. Kung kanina kay sections 1 and 2, information, naturally, nouns and pronouns ang sagot. Kay section 3 and 4, adjectives and verbs. And adjectives and verbs have their forms. If you're going to write the wrong form, then technically your answer is also wrong. That's the case. So, sa singular plural naman, meron naman tayong clue dyan. May nakalagay, blank is. So, ang sagot mo dyan, dog lang, hindi dogs. Nagkakaintindihan po tayo dyan. Yes. Yes. There are occasions which you have to really put your answers. Ang tawag nga dun is gap fill. Pero kung ang tanungan po dyan ay mapa na kailangan mo mag-interact, mag-interact ka. Kung ang tanungan naman kailangan mo mag-click ka pa rin. It's just happened that in parts 3 and 4, if may mga choices dyan o may i-interact ka, kapag may nakita ka na mga is, may nakita ka mga be, dapat dyan proper yung tense or form na gagamitin. Clear? So format. Narinig mo, ito ha, narinig mo po, November 23. Ngayon, ito po yung mga sagot. Si ma'am, nasa harap, ang sabi niya, November 23. Si ma'am, ang sagot niya, 23 November. Si sir, ang sagot niya, 23rd November. Si sir, ang sagot niya, November 23rd. Si sir, ang sagot niya, 23rd of November. Daming potential na sagot eh. No? Si sir, ang sagot niya, 11/23. Si ma'am, ang sagot niya, Nov 23. Si ma'am, 23 Nov. Yan po ang mga posibleng sagot. Ngayon, tanungan tayo. Ano dyan ang tama? Ito narinig mo, November 23. Anong tamang sagot dyan? November 23. Pwede ba yung 23 November? Pwede. Pwede. Pwede ba yung 23rd November? Pwede ba yung November 23rd? Pwede. Pwede ba yung 23rd of November? Pwede. Pwede. Pwede ba yung 11/23? Hindi pwede. Yes. Pwede ba yung Nov 23? Hindi pwede. Bakit? Shortcut eh. Pwede ba yung 23 Nov? Pwede. Hindi pwede. Shortcut eh. Nakuha? Alright. Now, eto na. May format of the example given. Doon tayo magkakayarian. May format of the example given. What do we mean by format of the example given? Halimbawa po, ito daw ang football matches ng Green Devils. No? Okay, dyan. Green Devils football schedule. Ang laban nila. So, dito yung date. Yung venue. Palagay dito yung blank. Para sa item number 14. Nakalagay dito blank. Para sa item number 15. Nakikita po. Tapos, lagay yung venue ay British Sports Center. Yan po, ang nakita natin. All right. Today, let's talk about the football schedule for Green Devils. At the British Sports Centre, which was the venue for the September 7 match. Sagot mo dito, naring mo. September 7. They will be having a match against the Orange Knights. 2 days later, on the 9th of September, we will be hosting the Purple Fairies at the same venue, British Sports Centre. Hindi nga. Okay. Yung sagot mo, ba't ba orange? Dapat dilaw. Para maganda makita. Yung sagot mo? Yung sagot mo? Parehong mali ang sagot. Ha? Diba? Tama yan eh. Oh, unang-una, sabi dyan, September 7. Pero may format po eh. Nakita? Ano pa yung format? 9-7. So kung ang sagot mo ay September 7, dapat ang sagot mo lang dito ay 7-7. Dahil ang mananaig, ang mananalo, ang susundin ay ang format na nasa table. Malinaw? Sir, bakit malito? British Sports Centre at British Sports Centre. May problema. Yung spelling ng center na sagot mo ay American spelling. Eh sir, sabi mo dyan regardless of American or British spelling, they are acceptable. Bakit mali yan? Kasi nga may format of the example given. Yun yung pangalan niya eh. Kung ang gusto kong spelling ng pangalan ko, halimbawa, ang pangalan ko Eric, no? Kaklase ko nung college, ganito yung spelling ng Eric niya, ganyan, no? Eric, oh. Alam ko pa kailan, may spelling ng pangalan ko eh. Hindi mo pwedeng diktahan kung ano gusto kong spelling ng pangalan ko. So dito din, yun yung pangalan niya, yun yung tawag sa kanya eh. Bakit mo iibahin? So kopyahin mo lang siya. Copy the format of the example given. Now, ito ang tanong. Sir, wala pong format eh. Tanong nyo ba yan? Ma'am, tanong mo ba yan? O hindi? Ba, walang format na binigay? Wala. By default, ikaw lang magsusulat. Itong British Sports Centre na to ay tama. Walang format na to. Itong September 7, 7 September, 7th of September, September 7th, ay tatama. Pero pag may format, yung format po ang susundin. Malinaw, nagkakaintindihan. Yes. Again ha, dun po nadadali ang mga nagtitake sa format. Hindi dahil sa kung tama o mali ang sagot. Tama ang sagot by default. But technically it's wrong because it's improperly formed. So consider that. Now, narinig yun. Question number 3. Can I get your student number, please? Oh, that will be KV 110-909. I repeat, that's KV 110-909. Okay, thank you very much. Ano po ang tama sa kanilang tatlo? Yung may dash, yung may space, or yung wala? Yes. All are accepted. Talagay nga dyan. If it contains any letter, write the letter in capital form. No spaces or dashes needed. Pwede kang mag-type pero hindi siya necessary. Kasi sabi niya, sir, KV 110-909. So nagpo-pause siya, kaya naglagay ako ng dash. Nagpo-pause siya, naglagay ako ng space. Okay lang po kahit wala. Ngayon, kailan po magiging mali yung may space at may dash? Kailan po magiging mali? pag may naka-indicate po na instruction, write no more than one word. Pag sinabing write no more than one word and or a number, sir, ang daming number niyan eh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ibig sabihin, mali na po ako. Hindi po. No? Sa pong write no more than one word and or a number means na when they are put together, they are regarded as a unit. So kung pag-ihiwa-hiwalayin mo they will be considered 3 units. So it's going to be a concern. No? So yun din po yung reason bakit halimbawa ang sagot mo nakalagay write no more than 3 words. Ang sagot mo is January 23 to January 25. Ay, mali. Sir, yun po yung narinig ko eh. No? Yun yung mismo narinig ko eh. Kevin's vacation would be on January 23 to January 25. Bakit siya mali? So, unang-una, one word, unit, second word, unit, third word, unit, fourth, unit, fifth word. So, paano mo siya shortcutin para maging one word, maging 3 words. So, yung 2 muna gawin mong hyphen. Bakit? Ang hyphen po ay hindi word, siya po ay symbol. Next, remove the repetition. Yan na po ang sagot po. 3 words na siya. Okay pa? Alright. Narinig mo ha? How much? Oh, it will be 3 million. Ano po ang tama sa kanilang tatlo? Unit of measurement. Kasi pwedeng 3 meters yan. Nakalagay, write no more than 1 word. Anong tama sa dalawa na to? Tama yung una. Kasi puro number lang to. 3, isang number. Million, isang word. 2 words yan. Okay, gets? Again ha, formatting po ang issue natin ha. Formatting. Unit of measurement, hindi mo pwedeng i-shortcut. So sir, may nakalagay kasi sa question 2 and 3 kasi table po siya eh. Dimension. So, nakalagay dito sa number, nakalagay dito example 3 cm. Tapos dito po ay blanco. Dito po yung pinaka-diagonal niya ay blanco. So, ang sagot ko dyan ay 5 cm, binuo mo. Sagot mo dito ay 10 cm, binuo mo. Mali siya. Kasi kahit na hindi tayo mag-shortcut because naka-shortcut yung unit of measurement doon sa format, kukopyahin mo lang siya talaga. Kuha? Galing tatalino ng mga estudyante ngayon Okay, kuha kayong papel. Papel na po. Okay.
Now turn to section 3. Section 3. You will hear 2 friends discussing a course they have just done. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 27. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 27.
Oh, Ben, I just remembered I never filled in that form for Nick.
Ah.
Did you do it?
The course feedback form.
Yes. If you want, we can do it together. I've got mine here.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's have a look then. What do we have to do?
Let's fill in the top first. Let's see. Course code.
It's communication in business.
Okay. Communication in business. I do know that, but what's the code?
CB16 something. CB162, isn't it?
That's it. Okay. And dates. When did we start? I remember my birthday's on May 4th, and it was the day after. It must have been May 5th.
Gosh, doesn't seem that long ago, does it?
No. And we finish at the end of this week on Friday, so that's July 15th.
16th.
Oh.
Monday was the 12th.
Yeah.
Right, that was the easy bit. Now, let's have a look. Please give your comments on the following aspects of the course.
Sagot sa 21. Muna, wala pa 22 yun eh. May 5th. Bakit daw May 5th? Kasi yung Monday daw is 4. So, the following day, May 5th. No, birthday is 4. Following day is May 5th. So, ano naman sabi niya sa 22? July 16. It's the day after that. Kasi Friday daw is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So, this is 6. Tumama po ba? Kung hindi po tumama, hindi ko po palalabasan dito. So, tips in listening. There are questions in the answer. They are not given in succession. Listen intently. If there's a spelled out information given, take note of it. Most likely, it is an answer. Get clues from the questionnaire itself. The correction or corrected information by the speaker is always the correct one. Kaya sabi, May 4th. No, it's May 5th. So yung 4, gagawin mo. So yun po yung nakakalito dyan kay listening. Nagpapalit-palit sila na. So magpa-practice tayo. Break muna tayo for 8 minutes. 10:52 na sa akin. Balik kayo saktong 11. No?